3, 4, and 5 lights all lit up here. Long light sequence, but it is lights out, and that's a wonderful start from saying that P1 as well as
he's actually possibly going on the inside of Melee, but no, Melee closes that door.
Put himself right behind the pack and definitely contention for points.
Actually, this setup is not feeling
very much happy. It has to get him, doesn't he? You don't want to be held up, do you?
But to back off of one fight. You got to go right back to it. Elucid driver might be able to make a run down this DRS straight. They are side by side going into the Audi S. There's a little bit of wheel banging. The A, Audi S is a little.
There's compound tires that you can have, and because of the bad tire degree. So it's really just terribly
there he goes into the pits. Philly now. He did 4 laps.
A touch, there's contact. You'd expect that, isn't it?
So the Ferrari's around.
Yeah.
Maybe Tice can swing her back around the side, but no, he was blocked. Billy backs out of it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, there it is.
Loving that inside line. Can Melee make a move around the outside? He is trying in that Alpine car, but Foxtrot. Leading the final lap.
Has he got him? I'm not quite. No, he hasn't got him yet. Still wheel to wheel.
Put on sauce right at the end.
The man of the moment, the Red Bull driver of Philly. This may very well not only be a race trophy, but it could much be a Constructors trophy.
The EGR Division 1 champion, and that's me, which I never thought I'd be saying ever, but I'll tell you one thing, it feels really good.
And Formula Philly wins the Division 1 Eternal Glory Racing World Championship.
Yes, boys! Let's go!
Three.
Welcome along. Welcome back, everybody. Well, after we've endured a long and tough season, 15 races are done and dusted, and now we watch the sun set on the finale of Eternal Glory Racing Season 2, Division 1, F1 PC 2021 World Championship game. And we are arriving in the new Saudi Arabian Grand Prix at Jeddah. I can't do this alone, of course. I am that Biggles, that man on your left-hand side that says congratulations to my man Philly that has wrapped up this championship already. More racing, obviously. Other positions aren't wrapped up. And joining me this evening for the final time this season, as Mr. Bells unfortunately cannot be here, the regular co-commentator with me. But I do have the man that has stepped on the moon before, Mr. Apollo. He is one small step for a man, for sure. And also down the pit lane, our AKA Ted, AKA Eternal Glory RedBeta. Guys, looking forward to this round?
Yeah, I really am. I've raced on Jeddah a couple times so far in a couple league races. My best finish in P4. But I think it's going to be really interesting. They're always really interesting. A lot of overtakes here at Jeddah.
There are RedBeta. You've been reporting down the pit lane. Yep. Any news? Any information?
Well, it looks like this is the second fastest circuit on the calendar, just behind Monza. This is the one with the most corners, and it's definitely going to be one with the most tire wear. Strategies are going to be playing a huge part in today's race, even though the championship's already sealed. It doesn't mean we can't have some interesting racing today. It's probably a lot to be forecasted. It's probably not the driver's first time driving at this track. This track has been out for quite a while now, and I'm pretty sure most people have been eating it up. So I'm pretty sure some amount of practice, there's room for error, and tire wear. Tire wear is going to play a big part, like I said again.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Very useful information down there, Ted, aka RedBeta. And I'm glad to have your information for the final round of the season. There are your current standings in the championship that obviously Mr. Philly, aka, is already going to be sleeping with that driver's trophy, no doubt, every night for some time. Stealing it away from the man Destiel that unfortunately hasn't seen the rest of the season turned into a reserve driver. So the championship crown has been handed over to Philly. But the rest of that battle for P2 and P3 in the standings is pretty spicy, isn't it, Apollo? And I think Apollo's answers to that question is, so did you hear me, Apollo? Sorry, I just can you see this?
Am I working?
You are working, my friend. You are stepping your second foot on the moon right now.
Yeah, give me just a second. I'm lagging pretty badly right now. My computer's struggling here. Can you repeat your question one more time?
Just that driver standings that we have currently up on the Twitch stream. If you don't have it, that's fine.
There's a bit of a delay there, honestly, on my side.
Not a problem.
If I do look on my side, it looks like it's pretty sealed for the top couple spots. Except for, honestly, looking, since Destiel isn't on the standings anymore, it looks like Ethan has a good chance to do well. Yeah, just look at there.
Fantastic. And Red Bull have definitely done and dusted and secured this championship with only 2 of those race wins under their belt. But it goes to show you consistency is absolutely key, because if you look at that, only 2 second place wins, but 7 third place wins has really made all the difference when it comes to that points situation for sure. Ethan, oh dang, it's Yang, really close, 113, 106. Dave Cranks, 114. So if anything happens to the Mercedes drivers this evening, then you may very well look behind in the mirrors rather than on that second step in the championship.
Yeah, in my opinion, I honestly think that, Ethan just has to outscore Dave Cranks by 2 points, 2 points today to seal the championship. Or even just tie because of how the tiebreaker works. So Ethan just needs 1 point to bring it home. So it's going to be really close. I think that Dave Cranks really has to fight it today with the strategies, as RedBeta was saying earlier. I think it's either going to be soft medium or medium soft, depending on the competitors. It's actually really dangerous because of the higher likelihood of having a safety car here around Jeddah.
Yeah, well, this is my first time here to this part of the Middle East, of course, on the western coast of Saudi Arabia. I do apologize for the graphics out there, ladies and gentlemen. If you were paying attention, I did that deliberately. No, it's not around 17. Of course, the finale is around 16. And it's Division 1, by the way, Internal Glory Racing in the title, not Division 2. I think it actually is intentionally mean to be Season 2, because we are concluding the second season now of this fantastic championship with the fantastic gladiators that will soon be around. This track weather forecast, I would assume, would be pretty dry. But hey, it is random, it is dynamic. Even with the game, there is a slight chance you could have a bit of rain. Wouldn't that spice things up for the final round?
Really would. It's actually interesting. The Red Sea is right next to here, so historically, We could get a little bit of a sprinkle considering that it's the track is right near the Red Sea. But it being a desert, Saudi Arabia being the largest country in the world to have no rivers, will play a part in the weather. It's going to be dusty, it's going to be sandy, and it's going to be pretty slippery out there, regardless of the conditions.
And you guys would know because this is the first time I've ever commentated a race around this track because it was recently added to the Formula 1 calendar. And a lot of leagues are not bold and brave, obviously, like the Eternal Glory Racing League is, to throw this track into their race seasons, where most, obviously, leagues are ending their season currently because we go into our Christmas break. It's either a winter break or a summer break or wherever you are on this planet Earth. And RedBeta, for you, my friend, down in the pit lane, how is the anticipation for the drivers? What do you do for setups, strategy-wise, qualifying, mediums, softs?
Well, for setups, mostly I'd suggest qualifying first off. You'd probably want to go on a tire, probably the mediums, like you said. It has probably one of the better chances of you surviving, and it will give you options for better strategies during the race. And like you said, it is the desert. It doesn't seem like there's going to be many chances. There's not going to be a lot of chance for rain here, or probably no chance at all for rain. So I'm going to expect most drivers are just going to stay on the dry compound for the race and for qualifying. Doesn't seem unexpected.
And you're real quick as well, as we should get ready for that full qualifying session, actually. Of course, we have 3. RedBeta, any predictions for your race winner for the final round?
You know what? I'd say Philly. Is he even here?
The man is definitely here, my friend. In the Red Bull. Ready to perhaps bring it this evening. No spoilers alert, of course, for the qualifying, because that happened to me earlier in a league race where I hadn't watched the qualifying yet. And some people started talking about it, and then I was like, I hit the mute button. But yeah, so I won't spoil it to anybody else who hasn't had a chance to watch the qualifying for the Formula 1. Obviously, the finale race of Formula 1, the real Formula 1, will be tomorrow. But this evening, we have the finale of the virtual Top Guns of Eternal Glory Racing. And they get to do it on a track that caused a lot of controversy in the real F1. Will anybody be doing any, perhaps, spoiler alert, brake checking and stuff like that under the safety car? I don't know.
I don't think so. The rules here on F1 2021 are a bit more concrete and less variable than they are in real life. That being said, this is a strong track for Foxtrot, actually, winning here in RRL on Monday. With a lot of practice. The only person that can... actually, Philly raced there as well and got P2. They had a really good race. I think they're both going to be going at it, though. Foxtrot has more to lose and win than... more to lose than Philly, so he's probably going to be driving a lot more aggressive than him, because Philly has his championship secured. So it's going to be the rematch of Foxtrot and Philly, in my opinion, but we'll see as we go down to the field for Q1.
Yeah, hopefully that now that they've had at least a week since the real F1 visited here, that there is no basically leaking hospitality suites into the Alpha Tauri garage, I think it was, or Alfa Romeo. One of those garages had a little bit of a plumbing issue, per se. As Apollo's obviously eating some of that space ice cream that you have.
Yep. I apologize.
Exactly. Well, guess what? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, for the final time this season for Eternal Glory Racing, we're going to go down to the track and we go down to a full qualifying session and see what these gladiators can bring for the final time in Eternal Glory Racing. And they're all just basically sitting in the pit lane talking to Jeff right now, trying to crunch up some strategy going, what do we do if we have not put many hours of practice into this track? 20 of our best gladiators are here this evening to find out how to drive your way around this relatively second longest track as RedBeta had met, and it's a 6.1 kilometer, or if you guys still in the old-fashioned system, 3.8 miles. And a few of the drivers come out on track right now for the first time I've seen drivers drive around this track and commentated. And, well, this is it, my friends. The finale is upon us.
As we go into strategies, it's actually quite interesting. Brinson, Elucid, and TTV Lars Allegra are all going on mediums to save that third set of softs for Q2 and Q3. It's quite the interesting strategy. Ethay, though, opting to go on the softs, as is Ollie. It's quite interesting to see all these strategies play out in Q1 because you see some of them committing to going softs in Q2 while some other people leaving the opportunity open. We'll see. Brinson is quite good at this track, I've heard, so we'll see what time he can put up on those mediums.
Yeah, and time being as well, too, that even though these drivers aren't in the esports lapping Yano or being lapped by Yano, they're still in the top 20 in time trials, generally, you'll find, around the world. Some of these drivers are really using no assists, some drivers using racing lines and stuff like that. Some drivers in the moment using wet weather tires, maybe predicting something we don't know, whilst they're out. Well, one of them is in the inters, and it looks like Glitch is contemplating whether or not he should try those wet weather tires around a very dry desert race in Jeddah. As the man who's going to start a hot lap would be Ethan. So who wants to do the honors of telling us how to get around this track?
Well, as we're approaching, actually, what is it? This turn is one of the hardest of all the calendar. Is the slipperiest per se right here. This left, right. You have to hit all the apexes correctly or else you'll get very loose towards the start of the first DRS zone. As Ethan hits that first DRS zone, approaching 190 miles per hour and superseding that, breaks down to fourth, down to the left-hander, big left-hander, hugging the wall, going wide and almost clipping the wall there, going up to seventh, staying in seventh, and then going down to fifth for the chicane, going flat through the second part of it, then going straight to the same corner, flat up until the corner where Mick Schumacher crashed during the race on Sunday. Goes purple sector 2 as he goes down to fifth here, tugs the most of the inside line as he can into the second DRS zone, excuse me. And he only has one corner left here to complete this lap, going 190 miles an hour, almost 200, down to fourth, trying to get as close as the wall while not hitting it for the final DRS zone on the main straight, hugs the inside wall, and sets a 128.2. Honestly, I'm expecting it to go a lot faster. He has a lot to gain. He is not getting as wide as he should to the walls, and not hugging the apex is nearly as enough as I would expect. So I'm expecting in the 27s, low 27s, a full second ahead for Q2 and Q3 here.
All right. Did you expect Will Gibson to have a bit of a spin on the intermediate tyres? I guess they might be a little bit trickier. Gambling a little bit for the Mercedes driver at the moment, having some fun. You're right. Ethan now set that first time on the softs, but look at that there. Lucid deciding, well, mediums, my friend, are not too bad. 128.3. Those times are definitely going to tumble. 13 minutes qualifying 1. If you are new to Formula 1 out there, we will lose 15 of these gladiators, or 5 of them, sorry. We will keep 15 of those gladiators. 5 of them, unfortunately, will not see the next part of qualifying, which will have 2, and then the third one. Horse can drive. We're currently on board with. That's, by the way, that's a cue at there, commentators, to come in and say something if you would like during the qualifying. Horse can drive has been a fantastic competitor, especially in the Haas team, driving for a Haas. Once again, if you're new to Formula 1, it's just a livery situation. The cars are exactly same performance. Otherwise, you would just see Mercedes and Red Bull win most of the races. In this case, every car can win. Horse can drive. Can certainly capable of bringing much points into this championship as he has. And a horse can drive a car, so it's proven right now. And he can drive a car pretty quickly as he's on a flying lap currently. Just trying to set that standard out there, set that. And welcome in the Twitch chat there, Will Gibson. For some reason, not very good. Reppy on Inters. Surprise! Yes, horse control goes up at 2 P4. Having some fun. Welcome everybody to Twitch World. Dieg Surf, g'day. Are you driving this evening, my friend? I don't see the old Diegster in the 20 Gladiators, no. God, Dieg, what's going on? Come and say hi to us in the commentary box if you like. Go ahead.
I think it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be Foxtrot's lap. As he retires from session, he crashes out. Really, the contender to be top of the board crashes out in Sector 2. Right where Signs crashed, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as we go on board with one of the Red Bulls.
DX just, sorry, Philly just had the fastest lap of everybody who was on board with him. And now I've got back to Mr. Pogo Punch there, as it looked like a very scary car was slowing down. It almost seems like the real F1 situation, isn't it? When the cars are slowing down on their out laps or in laps. But these blind corners, when you're up to an acceleration of 200 and 300 kilometers an hour, as we're seeing Pogo Punch right now, if there's a car going slow on around some of these corners, that's a heart and throat monitor. I would love to put a heart rate monitor on some of these drivers and see how that feels. Yeah, Mr. RedBeta down there in the pit lane garage. Some of these drivers are gambling on the medium, some of them are on the soft, some of them gambling on wet weather tyres. Any information of what you feel will at only early stage of qualifying course? Anybody you looking at to being at a risk or something?
I'm pretty sure there's 20 drivers today, and many of them will there's a majority that will get into qualifying too. So I'm pretty sure the front runners are going to probably stay on mediums. Philly's done his run, I think. He's good with that run. If you're a keyboard driver around here, it's gonna be hell. You're gonna have to put on the soft tires, put on those red walls, and just foot to the floor and go, go, go. There's gonna be, I'm not sure what's going, there's definitely not going to be any wet tire runners, I don't think. There's no clouds in the sky for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix for now. This qualifying session. Seems like, there's been a little bit of a hiccup near the front of the track, Sector 1 of the pit straight. Not sure what that is. I'm gonna go check it out after I leave my little box here. So far, everything's business is as usual, but I'm pretty sure most are gonna probably use a little bit of the medium tire to get into that optimum range for Q2. Therefore, think ahead for the race.
Thank you very much there, Ted. I mean, sorry, Red Ted. It rhymes, doesn't it? Ends with an ED. Very much useful information. We're watching O'Dangus Yang just bang his way around this track, isn't it? Purple Sector 1, Purple Sector 2, looking damn good to get that Purple Sector surprise, the 3 in a row, the one that puts you up the top of the timesheets to send it to everybody else and remind, well, perhaps Philly, that he could be the #1 driver in Red Bull next season, of course, because Mr. Philly's already wrapped that one up.
It goes a 1:27.3. That's insane. That's quite fast from the Red Bull driver. Really putting the time in there. I hope to see we get faster times, though. That's nearly hitting my prediction. I don't know how much faster we'll get. Hopefully in the 1:26s, but then my prediction will be off for the fastest times of the day.
What a Patowski we're watching right now in the Ferrari that's now been pushed down to P16, and now also with 8 minutes and change deciding he needs to crunch some numbers down there in the Ferrari garage for sure. We know what a Patowski has some what a pace as Ethan is back on the track there, crossing the line there and putting that lap in. No time set for some of the other drivers. Well, I think we need to go down to Mr. Nova that said, hey Biggles, I'm out on track today in the Alfa Romeo and I'm driving for you. Well, thank you very much, Nova. I'm on board with you right now. Let's see if you can put a smile on my face for your lap times.
Yeah, Nova right here. Ooh, invalidating right there. The commentator's curse going in full effect. He hit the wall on Apex on corner entry, trying to hug it too close, and that forced him to go wide and cut the corner for the second corner. This is how it is at Jeddah. Any small, tiny mistake that on any normal track would just lose you slightly a bit of time is invalidates your lap or makes it fatal in some cases. It's
oh, Nova!
quite crazy.
I was going to say, but Ticey did exactly what you just said. Bit of a tank slapper, bit of a wall slapper per se. Hit the fence, and Mr. Tice did not agree on that situation, so he's going to have to go back talk to the stewards about how that fence was so naughty to his Williams car.
It's quite a hard track to get out of the way because the cars can either be on the left or the right side, depending on the lines you take. It's quite interesting looking at all the different lines. It's such a new track that the lines haven't been solidified yet, so especially in Sector 2 and 3, you could have a car approaching you from the left or right side, and you won't even know. So it's not really the brake check that's dangerous, it's the approaching a car that can't see you, and yeah, so right here we see a prime example with Tice making way for Melee, that hugs the left side, but I've seen cars try to hug that right side to get the better line, so it's quite interesting to see if that'll have any playing out back in the pit.
As Nova's added again, and you can obviously on those medium tyres, although this is still the first part of qualifying, 6 minutes and change to go. Nova is definitely improving, but it's 1.4 seconds, and there's another invalidation from the Alfa Romeo driver. That's 2 in a row. Got to get a lap in, my friend, because right next to your name has no time.
He has enough fuel for another lap, so we'll see if he decides to start one right now.
Well, now this.
And now he
Foxtrot,
dives into the pits.
Foxtrot and Lars are the only two drivers that are out of the session. I'm not quite sure I've got anything from race control. If you guys can confirm that, perhaps Ted.
That is, yeah, correct. Both of them are DNF'd. Everybody's in so far, but honestly, Nova and Ty should be up there as well. Patowski still has some time left to be desired. I feel like the people that are to be eliminated is everybody under glitch right now seems to be the people that would get what I think will be the cutoff. Brinson looks like he could improve though, and Glitch does too. So it honestly, my prediction for right now for elimination, if Patowski, Nova, and Tice all get a good lap in with 450 left, is going to be Shorzy, Ollie, and Calculus for today.
Patowski's in what a problem right now because he's just invalidated his flying lap, so he's going to get back there and do it all over again on the soft tire, which means once he does, he's going to chew through a full lap of the second longest track in the calendar. So that really does burn through your tires, which will be a massive factor when it coming into the race itself. And that's up to Tice now starting an out lap. He's come out of the pits. Nova's still in there.
That's true, but it's crucial because Nova's locked himself to starting on softs, and now he's using it because he used his mediums up in the first part of qualifying. Now he's going on soft, so that means he's only going to have 2 softs left for both Q2 and Q3. I think he's really screwed himself over, only being able to use 1 set of softs in Q2 to actually have a chance to be up front. We'll see how his strategy goes as Patowski starts his lap, goes into turn 1, hugs the inside left corner, then the other one goes into 4th. He actually stays in 3rd there, doesn't upshift to 4th, but right now he's going to drop into 4th for this corner, hug the right side of the wall, and then take the apex on the left, go wide, take the apex again for this right-hander that is extremely slippery, goes down to 6th, lifts off a little bit, and then tries to get as much speed for the second DRS zone, starts at 170, will end up around 194, and then as he brakes, goes to the left turn, hugs the apex, and then lets the car run wide with the throttle, keeping the steering angle consistent. As he approaches this next area in 7th gear, drops down to 5th, goes down left turn, tries to go as close to the wall as he can without crashing, then hugs the white the white and red paint markings on the ground as he approaches this. Oh, one of the last chicanes over here, dropping to 5th, lower than usual with a purple sector 2. That might be fake, but he goes into the second to last DRS zone, approaching the hairpin where Verstappen crashed in real life 1 week ago. He drops down to 3rd, loses the back end there, and is able to get the accelerator down slightly late there. Goes into 7th, now into 8th, 190 miles per hour, crosses the line, enough for P5.
Absolutely fantastic. There's so many corners here right now. P19 as well. That's Ticey. Ticey's on a flyer. Ticey's looking good. Purple second sector. And Ticey is going to get himself out of the danger zone. Danger zone being these 3 drivers, really, because we've lost 2. that will be eliminated from this first part of qualifying. What can Ticey do? You can see there, it's purple in the middle. You can see the green personal best in the first sector, and now into the flying last sector. Across the line right now, Ticey's into P2 and safe. Thank you, by the way, to the STR3 AM Police, if I got that one correctly. Welcome along to Eternal Glory Racing. Thank you for your first time chat. How do you enter this league? Slap the Discord button. Actually, just somebody will post the Discord link for you, actually, because there is no Discord button I see in the about. But they will sort that out for you, my friend. And thank you for tuning
Nova
in.
going quite quick in Sector 3, actually. Should be able to redeem himself if he doesn't crash into the last corner. And so he breaks at the 50-meter board. Down into third, unusual. Upshifts into fourth really quickly. The back slides a little bit on the slippery last corner. And he is able to go up and get a nice time with third place right behind Tice. The track evolution here is quite interesting as the sun goes down, the temperature goes down as well. We're actually going to see the times fall off the board now. It's going to be interesting to see if Glitch is able to send another lap. He is right now in Sector 2, is 500ths up. We'll see if that's currently isn't enough to promote him up to P16. As he goes down to 6th. Seems quite slow around there, but is now in Sector 3. We'll see how his lap ends as he passes down there.
He's 1.3 off in the middle sector. You can see the hot lap graphic on the right-hand side of the screen. So being courtesy of Eternal Glory Racing, courtesy of Team Telemetry, free software. You don't get those goodies at Cody's. You get those goodies there. Crossing the line, he's going to be in trouble. He's
Able to improve by 4/10. Still in trouble though. Does he have time for another lap is the question.
Or would he?
We still have that yellow flag in Sector 3 because of Tice going slow. Put no fuel in. Oh, Glitch was probably going for another lap there, but was clipped the thing. He's backed off. He is eliminated. The second driver to eliminated because Calculus is also out. And also, Ollie is also out. So this is going to be the 3 drivers out because Ollie invalidated. So it's going to be Glitch, Ollie, and Calculus all out of Q1 today, as well as Foxtrot and Lars Allegra, who DNF today.
Yeah, you're right. We'll find out that in a second because Lucid in the Alpine driver, Purple Sector 1, Purple Sector 2, I think he's trying to prove, well, he's not 1 second off the pace of Odangus Yang. He's going to be right top of the timesheets, 127 flat.
That is insane. So close to breaking the 127 barrier, but getting those times in here in Q1, really, Elucid didn't have to waste that second set of softs, but maybe he's scrubbing them in for his first lap his first lap of Q2, or maybe even Q3. We'll be able to see this in a little bit as we...
Yeah, we'll go through that right now. Won't focus so much on the top. You can see those times of these guys because it's not going to be determining the grid order. What's important right now is what's happened, unfortunately, for Glitch. He's eliminated. Ollie's eliminated. Calculus, Foxtrot, and Lars will not see the next part of qualifying. The other 15 Gladiators will. Down to you, Mr. RedBeta, in the pit lane garage. Any information from the teams as to how that panned out for those unfortunate drivers?
Not sure how it really went out for them. Well, the teams aren't willing to tell me because they know I'm with you guys. So I mean, secrets to be kept. Everyone has them, but from what I've collected, I'm pretty sure they're gonna save some of their tire compounds for Q2 and Q3. Most of them are going to wear it out on Q2, as that's the most critical one. It's for strategies, and there's gonna be a few people pulling the soft card.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you for that information. If you guys are new to Formula One, the situation now is the qualifying 2 will be the tyres that you set your fastest lap on are the tyres you'll be starting the race on. So that is, if you could pull out, we talk about mediums and softs, that's generally because medium tyres are a little bit slower than soft tyres, and harder tyres are just absolutely great. They'll bring you to an end of the race, but you'll lose a lot of time. So now
the strategy actually that was best on on Monday for the last thing, we had a late safety car that helped all the soft runners and ruined all the medium runners. So I expect Philly as well as, well, Foxtrot not anymore, but Philly and Yang to be starting on the softs as well, as we see that most drivers are starting on the softs. Dave Crank's putting on the mediums still in the pits, Philly putting on the mediums, and Yang putting on the mediums. Actually, I was wrong there. We'll see, though, what goes on here in the rest of qualifying. Back up to you.
Up to me, right next to you, my friend, but I know what you mean. I'm going to pull that weather report up because, you know, you never know what's going to happen. And there it is, courtesy of the Team Telemetry software once again. The track temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, 86 in Fahrenheit, which the game always does a lot lower than what it would be. It'd probably be baking right now at about 50s in the real world scenario, but it's not. But I'll tell you one thing that is baking, it's the temperature. 25, actually, it's not. Actually, very comfortable in the desert of Abu Dhabi and Jeddah. That is our fantastic weather report graphic, which we will probably never have to see for the rest of this race. Qualifying. RedBeta down there in the pit lane. Is there? I know you're not quite sure if you're in the lobby there. Just checking everything out from our EGR broadcaster scenario. Is that, you want to do a hot lap before one of our gladiators, or 15 of them left in the qualifying too?
I'm not in the lobby. I can't. I don't have the live broadcast.
Not a problem. Maybe Apollo can share that to you. It's okay because you got all the number crunching and having to bother those engineers and team principals and stuff down there in the pit lane. As some of the drivers are out, you can see that track map to your right-hand side, how the cars are kind of spreading themselves out there so that they run into each other in those blind corners that we mentioned.
Yeah, and dirty air is probably a big problem on the circuit as well. It's all those fast corners, all these fast flowing corners. They're fun to drive on, but really bad for dirty air especially. And it's going to be difficult when someone's in your DRS range. They're going to fall out of line, and you're gonna have to do a lot more. You're gonna have to put in a lot more effort to stay within range and possibly have a chance at overtaking them. And track limits, I think it's also another big issue here. It's unclear. It's either the white line doesn't really define all. Sometimes you could go over the curb ever so slightly, but there is a fine line you're gonna have to stay on, or else you're gonna fall into the pit. That is penalties.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting here around Jeddah. You lose about 4 to 5 tenths if you're following somebody through the sector 1 up until the bank corner. And then you actually gain, if you're behind somebody with slipstream and DRS, you gain about 1.5 seconds, if not more. As Horse can drive actually hits the wall just like Max Verstappen did last weekend. We'll see what time he's able to put in with this reduced damage model. It goes fastest with a 1:28.1. I foresee those times to fall.
And fall pretty quickly, no doubt, as the track starts to grip it in from the previous round as well. Nova crosses the line and goes into P2 currently at the moment. Set his first banker in. And Lucid, now we're on board with the Alpine driver, has a purple next to his name for the first sector, as Ether steals that one away in the 27s, first man 27s. And track limits as well, as Welcome Foxtrot, track limits could be wearing of the cloak of invisibility. There's also one little scary thing with track limits is called a big nasty concrete wall that doesn't agree with your front wing if you do slap it. Well, those tires being slapping on the side of the DHL fastest lap award. Who'll get that? We'll find out in a little bit, but Elusive will be right on top of the timesheets with 1:27.1. as that track is falling in times.
As for the moment of silence, you see Foxtrot in the chat just said he met the wall earlier. He just wanted a hug. I mean, that's the nature of Jeddah's walls. They're all happy, but You know, just you don't want to be too mean to them, or else they're just gonna come straight towards you. It's not really their fault. So you like to say in Eternal Glory Racing.
Yeah, the walls take absolutely no prisoners, unfortunately. And drivers and walls disagree. Trust me, you don't want to be sitting into a debriefing room in an FIA at the end of a race where the drivers kept complaining all the time about the walls. But this man, Will Gibson, won't be complaining about a provisional second time. Of course, this just to get through the next part of qualifying. Show you the gaps at the moment. You're looking at about a 1.6 gap down to Philly. 5 of those gladiators will be eliminated, so I would have to say you need to be around where It's Yang is, about a second away from that flying lap that Alyssa just did, to maybe see the next part of qualifying.
So I've just noticed that Apollo's left the session. Have you noticed that? Is this a connection issue on his part, or is it something else?
Maybe the Eagle has landed, my friend, and he's on the dark side of the moon. We have to wait for that rotation to come back with Apollo in approximately would be about 6 hours, I believe it is in the real world. But of course, Apollo will be back when he can. So, well, RedBeta, mate, my friend, you get to jump up into the commentary box right now and say goodbye to the team principals. And
first say my goodbyes, and now I'm gonna hop back into the lobby as it is no longer full for the whole period of roughly the past half an hour. I wasn't able to get in because the lobby was full of you and Apollo doing most of the work.
I don't think you can just yet, my friend, because you have to leave that space open. We had 20 of the gladiators during the first part of qualifying, so there may be some people with some issues. So I would leave that open for now. And when we have a little bit of break, which I think we do right now in qualifying, I'll try to share that to you so you can check out what I'm checking out and everybody else is checking out on Twitch. I'll do that right now. So apologies for the little pause in the stream.
Loading in. There it is. I'm in the session.
Oh, no, you have to leave the session, my friend. You have to leave the session. Yeah, there are drivers trying to get in there. Just wait to see what happens for now. I've got the feed up for you. You can watch what I'm seeing on Discord. Tycee, at the moment, about to start his flying lap.
Yeah, seems like it. It's going round this very S section. It's a slight bit of lag here from my screen, but it's completely fine. Now into the third DRS section. Surprisingly, there are 3 DRS straights. One that's extremely short, that's leading up to turn 13. One leading into the final quarter, one leading out. We're heading into the final quarter, leading out of it onto the third, into the pit DRS straight of the circuit. Past the STC barriers, and the lap begins. Oh wait, no, it's not the lap beginning. He's just at his flying lap. He's now in third place, about a 127, I'd say 127.6, I'd estimate.
Good
Sitting
call.
on the second row alongside Thade.
Yeah, I know it's a little difficult for you to read with my lower quality that I'm streaming to you, but you called it, my friend. So 127.599. So you're out by about 1,000th of a second.
Ooh, so close yet so far.
It's pretty good to work on that one. There's a couple of drivers that need to work on their qualifying times right now because they're sitting in the limits. That's Brizzy right now, exactly. I think he's about to... He invalidated his previous lap, so he needs to get on with this one, and he's gone back to the pits.
I said earlier, it's a fine balance between going over the curb by a little bit and getting your lap invalidated. You have to balance it. It's a very narrow tightrope, and you have to somehow... And some drivers manage to beat the system. You can go beyond the area. There's a specific area, I think Cody's haven't patched this. There's a certain area beyond track limits where you can go flat out and it won't register as an invalidated lap time. It's one very specific area, though. I'm not sure if it's still there.
Well, it's a difficult track, my friend, because it's claimed a commentator already as well, and he's not even behind a motor vehicle at 319 kilometers an hour, which is the top speed around this track. And he has sent me a message, Apollo. Unfortunately, I can't read it because I'll have to tab out the game, pause the game. So perhaps you can send that message in the chat, or perhaps to Mr. RedBeta, who's kindly stepped in to fill those big Apollo shoes on the planet Moon, actually, on the lunar surface. But we are down to the Earth surface. We're down to the Earth surface on the Red Sea coast. as we're watching Pogo Punch try to punch his way a little bit further up on the timesheet.
These puns, always these puns, these punches. Oh, I'm trying so hard.
Mate, you gotta
Punch.
have something, don't you, at the end of the day on your resume, and that's mine, Pogo Punch. Let's see what this AlphaTauri could do. Can he set a fashion statement? P7. That'd be safe, I'd say. He's in that
Well,
1 second barrier.
does give you a win.
Nice. Lovely. Yeah, I'm not the only one that does those puns. RedBeta's got a few up his sleeve, per se. Gambling with the puns. This man's not gambling. Philly, well, kind of. He's gambling the medium tires. He's in P12 on the cusp of being eliminated. And let's see what if the world champion of EGR, Division 1, can demonstrate.
There isn't much more to lose. He doesn't have much to lose. Even if he doesn't do well this qualifying session or the race, he still has the championship. Either way.
He wants to see another victory, my friend. He's a driver. He needs another trophy to his cabinet. And what a better way to end the championship if you could get another race win under your belt. Exactly. That was close to the wall. I was a little scared.
I'm surprised. Oh, yeah, Dubai. Saying Expo Dubai when Dubai's in the UAE while we're in Saudi Arabia. These guys have a secret alliance or something?
Yeah, I've lived in Dubai.
No clue, but
I've
he
lived
picked
in
up the
Dubai.
DRS and...
Oh, Philly's banded that lap because that middle sector tapped against the wall, or he didn't agree. No Christmas cards between Philly and those barriers this evening in Jeddah. Horse could drive, improving on his time in the Haas. As you can see, green, so the green, i.e. personal best for him. I think he's just not happy with that probably safe P6 right now.
Just gonna get a little bit greedy. But remember, this is the track of the walls. This is more Ooh, what a Patowski in the way there. This is the track with a lot of walls. It's blocking everything. You screw up, make one mistake, you're heading straight into them. You're heading straight into the DHL barriers and ruining what was once a perfect barrier. So, horse and drive, you're in a pretty safe spot right now, but if you want to risk it, and which he does, it either pays off well. He's in 4th place now, 2nd row. For Q2 provisionally, is that's a McLaren. That's Shorzy coming out of the pit lane. Don't want him there.
And remember, guys, if you do slap those Tech Pack barriers, what they're called, you may cause a red flag. Tech Pro. Oh, what a Patowski. Now, on a flyer and on the bubble, yet to set a time, needs to set a time. Well, they say red stripe tires in a Ferrari make you go faster. What a Patowski needs to prove that.
Ooh, somehow was invalidated after going the curb. See, there's, like I said just now, there is a slight line. There is a very, very thin line. It's gonna have to be very precise to get it right. And he did.
He has to.
Ooh.
His teammate in P10, what a Patowski needs to get a job done, and a job done well. So, middle sector coming up in a second. That crosses that little sector point. See how well he's doing. He's at 58.5, 57.5, I believe. So he's about a second off. So he needs a second here to get into that top 10. And the second wood should cover it from the second being from the provisionally fastest time. And he only has this final corner. And then slap the gas pedal and pray you're in the top 10.
Let's see if the Ferrari master plan is gonna work, and it is. He's in 9th place. Fortunately, it has cost his teammate a position, but pretty sure that's not his biggest concern for the moment.
Of course, it's the last race of the season anyway. They're not battling for a championship between the Ferrari drivers. But these drivers do want to see the next part of qualifying as we're watching Mr. Brewston. Philly now. Ooh, Philly, yes, our championship leader, has elected that the medium tyres aren't quite going to cut qualifying. Or cut it into the next part of qualifying. So this is it. Championship leader. I'm sure he doesn't want to go out having to qualify outside the top 10. So let's see what championship material is born of.
Ooh, let's see it now. Let's see it in action. Philly on the softs, going for it. Into the turn of 13, the hairpin, the precarious hairpin. This one banking heavier than Indianapolis, I heard during the commentary.
wow, concentration levels are through the roof. If we could put a heart rate monitor on Philly right now, I'm sure it would probably shake Saudi Arabia into an earthquake, because this man is dicing at those walls, turning that car in as it responding. The Red Bull, it looks like it's a purple sector 2. It is definitely man and machine, champion and Red Bull together in harmony, in one, on a flying lap, ready to steal and deal this. 2 minutes and change to go in qualifying, so he might not get time for another lap. Philly knows this in the back of his mind. He hasn't won a championship for nothing. Strategies come to his play, and he's going to hug that wall as close as he can. He only got a P3.
Ooh, that was some... Ooh-wee.
Yeah, you've got to be happy with that, but got a lot further up than what he had expected. And that would definitely, I think, have to say, for the end of qualifying, less the Ferrari, the last Ferrari on the track, the last car on the track for the last qualifying of the season, across the line, and not improved, P15.
Yep. And, whoop, there we are. The qualifying results for today. It looks like Yang is on Q2's pole position with Lucid, then Gibson, Philly, but we're going to go to the eliminated right away because that's what matters here. Pogo Punch, Patowski, Victor Diaz, Melee, and Nova, unfortunately, all from North America. They're going to be out for Q3. And these drivers from around the world are going to make it into the third qualifying session and to decide the grid for the top 10. We'll see you in the next 12, 11, 10 seconds.
Yeah, getting ready to launch an Apollo, but unfortunately Apollo's not being able to. He's deaccelerated his way back to Earth and unfortunately not going to be here. I'm not quite sure. He'll come in when he can. The crucial part of that was nobody was quick enough to set a top 10 time on the mediums. So it'll be a soft start. As RedBeta tests his vocal cords out there, we're going to start the third part of qualifying. And on top of it this evening, those drivers will all get a free set of fresh out of the blanket red striped soft tires to use in this qualifying session that the other drivers.
They're all filing out. They're all filing out of the garages. You see them there, they're just going out, and that's Tice, the first man out on his outlap. Williams, everyone's gonna go on the red wall tires. I'm gonna bet that. And I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be a bet. Well, not really gonna be an easy bet to lose because everyone is going on the soft tires. You see there, everyone's on their outlaps. Everyone wants to get it out, to get it done quick, get a base, and then expand on what they previously created, then expand on their lap times. It's Tice heading to turn 13, first man around the track. Let's go to the Aston Martin behind him. That's Risen, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you validate your out lap, you still have a flying lap to go. You can cut all the corners on the circuit, but with these walls here, I'm not sure where you can cut it.
You could cut it straight into the barrier and not see the next part of qualifying. Well, the end of this part of qualifying. As you can see, most of them in the outlap, only 3 of those gladiators still in the pit lane, watching this from their little monitors on top of their cars, while they're sipping on their drinks and hydrating and studying and analysing their previous telemetry. As we're on board with Grid Brisden, the Aston Martin driver. No promotion for the new Kingsman movie on that halo this evening. Oh, that's Williams, actually. Oops, I was wrong on that one.
Well, I mean, they really should have kept their special liveries. Remember, for Abu Dhabi, meanwhile, let's just jump back to Abu Dhabi because that's really all the hype right now in terms of Formula One. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, it's final race of the season. This is also the final race of the season. Coincidentally, both are held in the Middle East, so I don't know what I expect. Either way, it is going to be an intense race. Except in EGR, the title's already sealed, so there is something. There's something.
There is always something, my friend, when you have 20 of some of the fastest drivers on the planet battling it out for the final 16th round of the season. Here, what you get, as you mentioned, in the Middle East. just in a different part of the Middle East. As Tice at the moment has set a fastest first sector, as not many has set a time. So if all those drivers that are on their hot laps have set a time, he set the quickest.
Yep. Seems like it. Yeah. There's a bit of silence in the commentary box. I'm gonna break that right now. And that's Tice. He's on his first flying lap. Philly's in the way though. Gonna give it a little tow. Ignore the dirty air there. Now DRS is activated and across the line he goes. He is going to be provisional pole 120. I can't read that. I'm sorry. That's a 126.877, I presume. I think that is.
You are correct, my friend. Yes. I do have to do something real quickly. My apologies. 8 minutes and change to go for the qualifying. So I'll leave the camera on here for 1 second and be back in just a minute as RedBeta will give you some updates to the real F1, any trivia and all that sort of jazz.
Well, this is going to be the first Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on the new layout, and I mean, why isn't everyone excited? The racing hasn't been this good in Abu Dhabi for so long. Ever since 2010, the second Abu Dhabi Grand Prix was held. For Saudi Arabia. Well, I mean, this is the track Saudi Arabia, so how about we talk a little bit about Saudi Arabia? It's in Saudi Arabia. It's second longest, most corners. Not many overtaking spots, but it also has one of the shortest DRS straights on the calendar. Even with three of them, there's 3 DRS straights. Two of them leading in and out of the final and first corners, and one leading to the middle corner, which is turn 13. On average, there's 13 corners for each. If you pretend Jeddah was a spoon, turn 13 is the end of the spoon, and there's precisely pretty much the same amount of corners from start to finish. I don't really know what other trivia I should say here. It's struggling a little bit. You know, let's follow Lewis on his lap. A slight bit of lag here. Oh, there it is, going through the S's. Going around the final bend? I cannot see. Oh, wait, no, he's not going around the final bend. He's going around the corners, that is turn 20, 20-ish, 21. And now heading into turn 24, that is, 25. He's now heading into 25. This is the long, curvy DRS straight. It's counterintuitive a little bit. Why'd you put it on DRS straight in a fast section of track that would cause dirty air? I mean, that's how things happen. Into the hairpin, final corner, and onto the main straight. DRS wide open. About now. And, oh, he's not going to go into the pits. That lap probably wasn't good for him. I don't really have the telemetry data, so I can't say so much about this. Back to you, Biggles. Hello? That's Lewis going to the pits. He's going back into his box. I don't have an option to change the cameras here. Meanwhile, oh, that is Horse Can Drive right now. We're now into Horse Can Drive's Haas. A little bit of delay reaction there. Apologies for that. Rounding turn 13. The wide hairpin. It's going through the S's section now, or should I say the multi-S's section. Through this miniature version of a bus stop chicane. Just barely touching the Pirelli barriers there. You don't want to do that. Just flat out fun. Oh, I think there's a slight bit of problems here, but I'm pretty sure that's only a later section of the track. I think that's going down to 6th gear. Still foots the floor. This is the second fastest circuit on the calendar. No surprise. Rounding 26 and heading into 27. This is an intense one. You can take it in 3rd or 4th. Some people take it second. I don't know how, but they can. Foot on the floor, foot on the power early, DRS. Just, yep. And he's slowing down. No reason for that. I have no clue.
Yeah, apologies about that. I'm having some sort of a little bit of issues with my old-fashioned jungle internet. It seems to be a little bit in and out at the moment, dropping some frames. But that's all okay. Thank you very much, RedBeta, for sorting that out. It was a little thing I needed to sort out outside the commentary box there for a second. We have told them the red light's on means do not disturb, but they don't listen, do they? Dagus Yang, hopefully we'll be listening to the team and say, you need a lap, my friend, because you have not set a time. We love your singing out there, RedBeta. Try to do the singing. Are you in harmony right now with that Red Bull as it's revving its way around the track on his flying lap? Go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
Give us that. How does it feel to be in that Red Bull? How does it feel to be try to keep out of the walls, or basically making sure you're at harmony with the walls more than anything as you slug that Red Bull around?
Well, because I've driven around this track a long time, and every time I always scrape the wall. I'm probably not as calibered as some of these drivers here. Not as high caliber, but what I can say is you need to get it exactly right, or the entire world is going to combust around you.
Oh.
And that is not an exaggeration.
That's like space-time, isn't it? If you go back in a time machine and you look at yourself again, everything's going to end in one single explosion.
Yeah, and then all this memory, and then the world just slowly collapses.
As Yang goes P2. I am having a lot of latency issues at the moment from my end, and I don't know how that's performing out there in the stream world, because Twitch world, because it's not showing anything for me. It's pausing all the time, so I don't know what's going on. Help me, guys. We're at the end of the qualifying.
Yeah, we're nearing the end of qualifying already, and yet there's 2 people that are yet to set their times. I'm surprised that they haven't already set it, because I'm 90% sure that's probably one of their top priorities at the moment. Egg. I have nothing else. Why did I say that? Well, I mean, it is going to be eggs pelted if they don't set the lap time. It's going to be pelting them back to 10th place. I somehow saved that commentary right there. Round in the curving, DRS straight. Kissing the inside. Whoa! It's Gibson. Gibson's retired. I'm not sure that's a crash. Probably he's just retired in the pit lane. Around the final corner, this is a Lucid. Really wants to get as well as he can. No one's getting eliminated here. He doesn't have to worry about that. And across the line he goes. He sets the fastest lap of the qualifying session. Pole position is the Lucids. Oh my gosh. Woo-wee. That was unexpected, but certainly good. Following Lewis now. He's going through the SS section. You see this is the F1 2021 game. No error. Going 6th gear. Second driver. I'm not sure, but now he seems like a first driver, rounding this curving DRS straight alongside. Just Lucid just now. Is he going to set a faster lap time? He might. Seems like he's gotten a green sector previously. Now there's 3 minutes left in the session. He can't set another lap time after this. He's flat out. Under the bridge, under the barrier. Is he going to make it? Is he going to get it? Yes, he does. 4th place is his.
And Dave Cranks slowed down. I thought he was a good first sector. What about Brizzy and the Aston Martin? He's improving. A little bit up the road is the McLaren of Shorzy, a little bit quicker. A Red Bull driver, I feel he's just backed out of that one. I'm not quite sure what's going on actually. Philly is on a flyer here, so we'll have to go to the champion and see if he can do anything about this qualifying performance.
Apologies there, I have to grab my charger. My commentary laptop is starting to heat up and it's starting to rain. Just like some of these drivers here, they've been stuck in this qualifying for